This is a huge topic now. And yeah, in 2006, it was really woo-woo. Now, I think that we're aware of 5G and the space fence, and that we're living in an ionized sky. Great work of Alana Freeland. And this thing about us being absorbed is no joke. I mean, my students in shadow synthesis, and we've been working for several years on these things, and we did summer intensive with Laura Lee, and we're getting dive bombed by these things. Until we started doing the screw you loser thing, which was a code to destroy some of the attack we were under. Many of us, myself included, could barely get out of bed. They have got so much technology. They have got so many advanced, invisible things that are impacting us and are little by little taking us over and reabsorbing every system of all of our bodies into this artificial intelligence. It's so advanced now that people like you that have been actually stumbling into it and starting to figure workarounds because you're very life dependent on it. I really need to be listening to you now, Laura Lee, because a lot of physical illness, a lot of how terribly ill people are physically, psychologically, spiritually, is infestation. I've been learning that from you, Laura Lee. So I just wanted to interject that. Now, were you going to give another example about how AI was taking over?
Well, AI, what you said is absolutely true, and now my voice is starting to get.
Tell us about this. Tell us what happens, because this is a good example.
Let me get some water.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a good example. It seems like invariably when I'm on a radio show and I start talking about something really important, and especially the AI, my voice, it's like I get this crap in my throat, and then my voice starts getting real digital like this. So
yeah, you don't sound like yourself.
No, and that can be. It can be a real turnoff to people. Some people get scared. Some people just think, "Oh, get that witch out of my face. I can't stand her voice." And that's what it's designed to do. So I have to keep clearing my throat. Let me get some more water.
So it's literally trying to turn people off and make them think that what you're saying is just somehow wrong because it's hitting them in this weird energy.
Right, okay, I'm really trying to get focused here. The tones coming out of my voice, which normally are people have said are very soothing, and they feel very secure when I talk to them, like people long distance. They say, as soon as I hear your voice, I know I'm going to be okay. Well, what this does is annoy people, and some people it scares them. And so they're going to run away screaming and not listen to what I have to say. They'll kill the messenger because the voice box
happened in a lot of different ways, right? Because I know we were tracking this summer several different engineered overlays on your energy field that would create a psychological turnoff that would drive people away from you or block out where they just couldn't hear what you had to say. And apparently they have a number of instruments on you, not just this voice thing. Is that right?
Yeah. And
It's getting better. It's getting better. We cleared a lot.
It's getting better. I've systematically found them and got rid of them and went after whoever was putting them there. So I've systematically taken down a lot of their.
Oh, wait, hang on. Let's give them a little bit of a trailer here. You said that you systematically went after them and took them down. Can we hear a little bit more about that? I know that there's a lot that we can't say, especially on YouTube, but this is the big secret about the witch, that she can go after them and take them out. Oh, no, not that. That's so rude, Laura Lee. How dare you do that?
I don't have a problem because most of them are digital and I don't have a problem. Yes, I do go on what I call ass soul hunts. It's like Hal told me this one time. He said, and this is when I was kind of in the beginning and I was trying to wrestle with what was okay and what wasn't okay. And he said, if someone steps on your path with intent to do damage to you or the ones you have stewardship over, like my children, then they have relinquished all rights to anything, to being protected from anything that you deem fit to respond with. So if they come on your, if they, these ones that were coming in trying to destroy my voice so people wouldn't hear it and people would want to run the other way, then it is my, not just my right, but it's my duty to go find those assholes, quarantine them, get their data, take them to zero if there's nothing good about them. It's my right and it's my job. That's what I came here to do. And I do it every day.
And I'm bringing you here because I want my community to learn this from you, Laura Lee Mistycah, because we all need to know how to do that. Because when enough of us show up and can do that, it's going to be a different reality.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's high time that we did, because who's going to do it? You know, the people in the love and light communities, they think that if they just send enough light that it's going to fix it. Well, if that would fix it, it would be fixed already, because there's so many people doing that. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong to do that. I'm just saying that a lot of these assholes have immunities to that, and it doesn't penetrate, it doesn't get in. They know, you know, they've been around a long time, and this AI's been around a long time, and it has defense mechanisms and shields that shield against the regular love and light that might, to a person, it might, you know, make them feel all warm and fuzzy inside and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Okay, that's how it should work, but it's not working that way, because we live in a corrupted system with corrupted dark overlords running the system, and they're immune to that. They're immune to this regular love and light. So you have to go and take them on their turf, which is to track them down. You identify them and you quarantine them, and then you get their data with the help of the eggs. This is why the eggs are so important. They will quarantine them and they can't get out. Then you, after you've got their data, so you got the goods on them, you're turning the tables on them, then you find out if there's anything that's benevolent. Sometimes they have, they like still benevolent spirits or something to have like on the forefront. It's like, oh, here, look at me, I'm so benevolent. And they're not. They've hijacked someone or something to make them look good so nobody goes after them. So you sift through that, and you have the egg help you sift through that and find out if there's anything that they have hijacked that's benevolent that you need to rescue. So you do that next, and then you have the eggs with the help of your eggs, take them to absolute zero. They don't exist. They're nothing. And who's going to do that? There's a handful of people on this planet that are doing it now, but we need more. We need a bigger force. And if you're hearing this and you feel like, you know what, that's what I came here to do. I need to get trained. I need to get on this bandwagon because we need help. You know, this is a big earth. This is a big universe. And these assholes are everywhere. We got a corruption virus that has been running amok for eons, and it's time that the buck stops here. So all you indigos out there with incredible abilities, it's time to shine up your armor and get out there and start helping to clean this mess up. And we are doing it. There's a lot of people that are on the front lines with me that are doing it, and we're making a huge headway. I'm telling you what, I don't get hit nearly as much as I did, say, when I was writing Cryogenetics 1, it was hell. Every time I would sit down to the computer, it's like somebody had a knife in my back. And it's like my shoulders would go into muscle spasms, and I after 20 minutes, I'd have to quit. So, but I kept after it and after it and after it. Finally got the book out. And then, of course, because it did have the egg in it, and it did have the rock, just like the book got ghosts, it got blackballed. I've hardly, maybe sold 500 books, maybe. And with the ghost book, maybe 350. I'm like, serious? A book on ghosts? People love ghosts. People, I mean, that's a hot topic. Somebody said, yeah, that's as hot as porn. You should be selling millions and millions on that book. And I said, yeah, I should, except for two things. Both of those books have the rock and the egg in it and how to use it. Okay? So to the ghost gangsters, that's a bad thing. Don't let that information out.
And who are the ghost gangsters? The ones?
Yeah, Ghost Gangsters is a huge network of beings that don't have physical bodies, but they can shove into you. So, you know, they do, but they don't, you know, and it's just, it's what you would think. They're ghost gangsters. And they're not nice. And they're part of this huge agenda to keep the place corrupted. And yeah, they've been doing a good job, and nobody knew about them. I didn't know about them till just, I don't know, maybe a year ago, when somebody was talking to me and they said, you got something, you know, every time I try to help you, I have these shadow beings following me around. And it used to scare me, but I'm not scared anymore. I'm going to come and get more books and have them on display. And then with working with her and seeing what she had to say and working with my other team members, we found out there is something called the Ghost Gang, the Ghost Gangsters. And they do exactly what you would think a ghost gangster would do. They're mean, they're nasty, they're ruthless, they are lawless, and they think nobody can touch them. Well, that's been true until recently, and the egg is it's kryptonite to them. And so, of course, they don't want the egg and the rocks out there, because the rocks are the stone of truth and justice. They don't want any of that. So what do? They blackball the books. Well, it's interesting. This time around, I'm just kind of showing you how things are improving so that you won't think we're all going to die, because we're not. Things are improving. But I've been working on cryogenetics too, and I've only had a little bit of interference. In fact, it's fun. I get excited every night. Okay, oh boy, I get to work on the next chapter in the book. And it's amazing. Where before it was just like hell. Trying to write the book was hell. And so I just want you to know things are improving. If they're improving for me, they can improve for you, okay? Just saying.
Yeah, that's a huge improvement. And the fact that you were homeless and now you've been in a beautiful place for like 11 years. So even though you've been through hell a lot of times. From what I saw, things are definitely improving.
Yes. Oh, yes. So good news. You can, whatever you are involved in now with hard life experiences, with horrible spouses, with horrible financial situations, with horrible things with your family, blah 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 blah. You can overcome it, and you can get out of that hole. You can do it, and these are the tools that can help you get there. And I would say the rocks and the eggs are the number one tools that will help you get out of that and get back in get your game back on. And you can do it. And we're doing it. And if I can do it, you can do it. If the witch can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. I know that this combination of interference and shadow is crucial because, I've been watching this kind of depression and anxiety and anger and hurt and insecurity, lack of confidence, shame, guilt, looping. But very few people understand that we became like looping machines rather than human expressions of love and truth and beauty. We became harvest machines. But they can't harvest us at the higher heart frequencies. They hate that energy. It has to be a lower frequency. It has to be pain and suffering and misery and horribleness. And there is no end to the level of horribleness that they've conceived of and that they continue to conceive of. And we have such a hard time even believing any being would even think up half of this, let alone implement it or want to do it. So a lot of the really good-hearted ones, the really juicy morsels, you indigos out there, you are the gourmet bonbons of the predators. And they're all working together, the Dracos and the reptiles and the mantids and the grays and the ghost gangsters. I mean, they're all working together. Sometimes they're fighting each other, but it's all one big feast. And the whole secret is just to keep you in misery. And if you are one of these higher advanced indigos, you have superpowers. And capabilities that are really a threat to them. And so they can invert it, like with the MK Ultra, right? The agency programs, they take your abilities and use them against you. And so the people that should be our saviors and our leaders and we should be getting inspiration and innovation. These people are going through such pain and suffering. Their life is an unbelievable hell. They're often too ashamed to even admit the level of torture they're on, or people wouldn't even believe it if you even told them, and they just give you drugs and tell you you're mentally ill or something. But this is all really happening. You are the absolute enemy of these predatory beings. And there's nobody that I know in the regular psychology area that's going to tell you that, the voices in your head are real. And there are these creepy, dark, horrible beings that are after you and doing all kinds of crazy stuff to make your life a living hell. I'm not giving you a Prozac and saying you'll get over that. It's all delusional and you just need to get over it. We're saying, no, it's real, but you can get over it. But you're not going to get over it if I give you a drug and tell you you're making stuff up. So most of you out there have so low self-esteem, are so broke and so in such a world of hurt that you don't know where to go with any of this stuff. And then there's all the predators, I'll come and help you predators, right? What do you call them? The light deceivers or the charlatans, these high-level dazzling that got the cure for everything and charging the big bucks, and it's huge industry. Because people are suffering so horribly. So I feel it's so important just to let you know what's really going on So that also it really helps not to feel so bad about yourself, and then to know you can actually do something about it. Not to say that when you pick up the phone to call to have one of our new cool joint sessions with Laura Lee and Sienna Lea that, you may lose the phone number, or your computer may break, or you may forget to even do it, or suddenly the money you thought is gone. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park, but it will be sooner and sooner, because we're just at the end of this now. And there is a whole world of horrific torture that we have sensed is probably happening to us, but we didn't have anyone to tell. We didn't have anywhere to go that wouldn't lock us up or put us on drugs. I mean, seriously, if you go and tell a psychiatrist that you're hearing voices, you could be in a world of hurt. And they're definitely going to try to stop those voices. They're not going to say, oh, really, what are they saying to you?
Right. And just to make people feel better, I know it's like some of the most amazing, capable, psychic indigos that really have really out there on the front lines have been through some kind of psychological profiling and been under lockdown. And they've all said to me, I learned so much while I was in there. I learned how the system works. I learned what is really going on the inside. There was one girl, after she got out and she started learning about the rocks and stuff, she went back to that facility and gritted it. She said, things are changing in there and not the way they want it. So wow. Joke on them. So that was really, really good.
Yeah, the depth of torture that people are submitted to, and then the lack of, what is the word? We're just basically saying, oh, no, none of that's happening. You're just making that up. That's all in your head. Oh, you're so important that there's whole bands of thieves just running around in the invisible world with spaceships, just trying to take you out because you're so important. Right. Yeah. And, it all sounds so crazy and plausible. What's really real in a million years, you would never believe it. And we have to stop. We have to stop believing. That's something you've really helped me with, Laura Lee, and I see you help other people. Stop believing what is not true and start seeing what is true. Expand, because a lot of, we're so scared and we're in so much pain, and so you try to cling on to something, right? Some controlling concept or belief, or someone's going to come save you, some spiritual being or whatever it is, and then you find out, oh no, it's so much crazier than that, you wouldn't even believe it. And we're like, oh no, I can't handle any more crazy. I can't do more. Just leave me alone. This is too terrifying. Whereas we need to dive deeper into this. We need to go, look, the truth does set us free. That's the only thing that is ever going to. But then we need support. We need community. We need real love. We need to even understand what real love is. I mean, most of us have never had much real love. Uncorrupted love, is there any around? We have the facade of it. They're really good at that, of what it's supposed to look like, it feel like, it sound like. I mean, everything's trying to sell you it's the real deal of the love thing. And most all of it is a scam. I mean, I don't know what the percentages are, Laura Lee. Maybe you know percentages of how much uncorrupted love is there on the planet at the moment. Has anybody given you that data?
There's not much, like 2%, but it's very powerful. It is very powerful. So as we cultivate more of that, and more people, once you've felt it and once you've experienced it, and it's so different than the mamby-pamby, fluffy bunny, love and light kind of energy. It's strong, it's powerful, it's noble, it's exhilarating, it's everything that they claim is theirs. And it's honest and it's true. And that's where the other ones kind of get in the gray area. It's honest and it's true.
We also want to believe in the lies because that's all we've had. If all you've had is false love, then you want to believe false love is real love. It's so
exactly
hard to face everything. That's why we do it in community. We try to really drop the ego and just be here with each other. We're not all know-it-alls, but we know we need to be in this field of uncorrupted love so we can even start to heal this in ourselves, or even start to distinguish between what is and what isn't. Because if it doesn't exist, it's too scary to know that. So we just keep pumping out more of the same. So,
just know that it can be better. As good as you think it is, it can be way better. It can be off the charts from anything that you've experienced. And it's amazing. It's it keeps you going. And
right.
The thing is when you get in these pits of despair and you start cycling and you just think, oh, everything is so hard, blah, blah, blah. I feel crappy. I feel depressed, blah, blah, blah. Usually when that happens to me, it comes on all at once. So I know, okay, this is an exterior forces kind of thing. And if you can go to those energies that are trying to put you in that mood, put you in that mindset, put you in that energetic system, I say, no, you feel crappy, you feel scared, you feel traumatized, and I just reverse it all on them and like wham, and I lock it back in place for them. It's like, and it's amazing how fast you will pick up. All of a sudden you're just back to your old perky self and you're all happy again. Sometimes you have to do it 3 or 4 times because somebody else comes in and does it too. But I'm telling you, that is how I got rid of, I had another crypto attack, by the way, a few days ago, kind of like the one I had when you were at my house and I couldn't drive. I remember when I got hit by the cryptos and I got so spaced out. For me, what it does when I get a crypto attack, it hits me in the gut and I feel sick to my stomach. And this is all AI kind of stuff. Then it starts working with my mind and my emotions. And what it usually does is take me to something in the past, something benign or a dream. And then it starts tweaking it and twisting it and turning it into something really creepy and foul and scary. And it's like it comes in and then and all of a sudden you're just like, I can't even navigate. I can't think. I can't do anything. And the quickest way to get out of that is to reverse it and say, no, I'm not buying it. This is BS. I am not buying it. You have it. And slam it back on them and lock it down. And I know that this isn't the love and light kind of way to respond to stuff, but if you don't, they will take you over and you will go down. Okay? You got to stand up to the buggers. If you don't stand up to them, you're a pushover and you can't be that. So I did that this last time. I did it like 3 times and I did the screw you loser thing. That's another thing we'll have to talk about. But it's within 10, 15 minutes, I was out of it. And what really helped is putting another protective coating, a cryogenetic badass egg around me. And that was the kicker because I hadn't done that for like 8 hours or something, and it was starting to wear thin. You have to do those all the time. You have to always put yourself in an egg. And so once I got the egg around me, I was like focused. I was there. I knew exactly what I had to do. And I went after those buggers, and I was fine. Now, when I was writing Cryogenetics 1 and they would get me, I would be down for like 2 or 3 days. And with these waves that, I'd get a wave and then I'd kind of get out of it. And then another wave would come. And those boogers were on my tail all the time. Like I was having probably 1 or 2 a week. And now I get maybe 1 a month or 1 every other month. And I can nab it within 5-10 minutes. Now, the thing about this is that it, at least with me, they may be doing it different with other people, but it makes you, it's like, I would call it emotional warfare, where they put you in emotional states and make you emotionally ill so that you can't even think straight, or you think, sometimes they put the thought into my head, oh, I guess I have to go through this. There must be a higher purpose, blah, 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 blah. And then I go, wait. I've been there, done that. I got a gazillion t-shirts on there. I don't need to do that. It's like you have to really snap yourself out of it. Nobody's going to snap you out of it. You can't, you might want to hug from somebody. That might help a little bit. But you got to get yourself out. This is an inside job. You've got to do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. You could maybe have some support systems, maybe a loving spouse or kids or parents. But in general, you got to go in there and you got to handle it. And you got to show them you ain't putting up with this crap. You're not their punching bag. And it's like Hal says, don't be fear's bitch. You cannot let them mess with you like this. The more you stand up to them, the stronger you get, and the less they will have the ability to come in and mess with you. And so I just want you to know, I know what it's like. I've been there. I know what these are like. But you can get through this, and you can stand up to them. The more you stand up to them, the easier it gets. Okay?
Yeah, that's really good.
I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, that's so important, because we don't even know, because you get in those moods and it just feels like a mood. You wouldn't think that you were under attack. It's like, come on, you're just in a mood. People get in moods. Take a pill, whatever. I mean, who says, no, this is attack? Suddenly you're feeling something, or suddenly you're thinking something. And we just think it's us.
Yeah. And they want you to think that, oh, it's just you. And granted, every once in a while, especially for people that are kind of whiners, yeah, it is you. You got, but again, it's nobody else's responsibility to get you out of your mood. You gotta crawl out yourself.
Right.
And so, it's time to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get going. We're warriors, for heaven's sakes. We're not wusses. We need to get that armor on and get our toughness out there. And we are tough, and we got to keep getting tougher. And the more you do this, the tougher you get, and the smarter you get, and it becomes easier. And then sometimes it's even fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. Since you've been talking about it, your image has been frozen almost the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think we're going to probably need to bring this to conclusion. I think that was really good. And I want to invite people. Laura Lee Mistycah is a mentor with Rise Multiversity, and she's going to be doing private sessions and is doing private sessions. And you can get the rocks and her book and her private sessions and our joint sessions. And shadow synthesis and their group work. If you want some support, if you want like-minded and hearted beings that are taking this journey, if you want to become stronger with other beings that are getting stronger, which is a great idea because it does help, then check out risemultiversity.org. Check out Lee Mistycah. Check out her website, her own website.
Firstwaveindigos.com is my website.
Okay, so what's the difference between a first wave indigo and a second wave indigo?
That's for another topic.
Okay, but anybody who's an indigo
second wavers are younger. Right, second wavers are younger. They're the millennials, the end of the millennials.
Okay, all right, but that includes all of us. You don't get just if you're not a first waver, that doesn't mean
second wavers. Come on, we'll bring you in.
Yeah, so we're going to start. I haven't been working intensively repurposing Rise and shadow synthesis and spending the summer with Lee. We're just coming back on now with these joint courses, classes, private sessions. And it's really time for us to come together. It's time for us to meet you. It's time for us to get down to it. If you're feeling it, we have an intro session. I have a $50 intro with me. I think Lee and I have $150 with the two of us, one intro session. So we're trying to make it affordable. If you take the course, my course, Shadow Synthesis, my sessions are $80. I don't know. We'll work out something. We're going to have payment plans. I mean, don't like immediately if it comes up as, I can't afford these people. We're keeping the prices so low compared to what we won't mention who it is, Mr. $800 an hour. I mean, the prices for doing this kind of work are off the charts. We're trying to be able to do the work. So please don't just hear that voice that tells you can't afford this. And if you're feeling like, wow, I really want to experience that, just push through that because now is the time and it is. I don't know. Do you want to say anything else, Lee? We're going to be doing these and the truth shall make you laugh. I think, so now we have to go. So what was really funny about this show? I think it's kind of hilarious that there's all of this bad rap about Magick, and yet everything that has created this prison and all the misery and suffering has been created by Magick and not ours. That's right. Not ours. I think that's worth a laugh.
That's so foul, it's humorous.
But, we want to keep this funny. We want to keep on coming back to the laugh because I don't know. It seems like a lot of people that are really down into the down and the dirty of what's really going on. We can kind of scream at you a lot. Then we get really serious and grouchy and then we scream at you some more. I think we need to change the meme here. There's got to be fun. There's got to be some gentleness, and it's got to feel safe enough to let our hair down because this heart. I mean, there's a lot of soul retrieval in the heart. They've fractured and split or hardened all these shards and put them through the whole omniverse. I mean, there's being able to live from our hearts with what has been done to us is going to be a frigging miracle because we are all so brokenhearted. That's why we have got to start coming together in places where we're not ripping each other off, where we can build some kind of trust and start healing this stuff. Because if the heart intelligence is the cure, which I believe it is, it's so whacked out that unless we start holding these kind of containers for each other and ourselves, I don't know how we're going to be living from our hearts in this war zone. So that's why we're kind of coming together. Lee's putting up with me, and we're putting up with this one. We're trying to bring something together that is kind of warm and cozy and affordable and reasonable and sane and offer it to you. But whether you show up for it, well, that's going to be up to you.
So don't let the buggers win.
Right on. We got to come
That's
up with
one thing that Anne would say when we would. Anne was my former business partner that would do weird shit or WS with me, and she passed away. You can read about her on my website, but she passed away in 2008. And at the end of our sessions, whether it was on the phone or whether she was at my house, we'd get together and we'd say together, "Don't let the bastards win. Yay!"
Right on. That's right. That's right.
That was our cheering squad.
If we could get that point across, if we could get that one point across.
That's right. That's the last.
I'd feel really good about all the crap I have to put up with to show up in one of these podcasts, try to get you to listen to me.
That's true. So, okay, well, everybody, hang in there. There's answers, okay? And we're finding them, and we're going through this. And everybody, don't forget to laugh, okay? That's very important.
Right on.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back. We're going to go into a lot more things. Stay tuned. Join the newsletter at risemultiversity.org because we're going to be coming out with a lot of weird shit, and you're going to want to be there.
You're going to want to be a part of that.
We're not like super rich promoters with bazillion dollars to have our ads showing up every time you click on something. That ain't going to be happening. So just stay in the mailing list, and, those of us that are supposed to be healing together, we can do it.
Come on down. Okay. Bye, everybody.